welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're embarking on, well, a really anticipated, maybe even a bit of a perilous journey. We're diving into a sequel that's been nearly 3 decades coming. Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, 3 decades. It's wild.
Right, and the original Happy Gilmore, it isn't just a film, is it? For so many people, it's like a comedic cornerstone of the 90s.
Oh, absolutely. A total cult classic.
It's just grown in affection over the years. It's always on cable, always streaming somewhere.
Constant presence. Definitely.
So bringing back an icon like that after, 29 years? It's not just a creative thing. It feels more like a tightrope walk. You've got huge fan expectations, all these unique challenges.
Absolutely. And that weight of nostalgia, that alone can just be crushing for a project like this one.
Totally.
How do you even begin to honor that, raw, unpolished charm of the original, capture that same kind of comedic lightning in a bottle again?
And do it for a new generation, right? Without ticking off the fans who basically demanded this thing.
Exactly. It's such a delicate balance. And, often these legacy sequels, they really stumble right there on that tightrope.
Yeah, that's really the heart of it, isn't it? So, okay, our mission today, let's unpack the critical reception for Happy Gilmore 2. And spoiler alert, it's pretty polarizing.
That's putting it mildly.
We'll dissect its approach to nostalgia fan service, which is, central to this movie.
Yeah.
We'll explore some really surprising, honestly shocking plot points that just fundamentally change Happy Gilmore's world.
Yeah, some big swings there.
And, we have to catalog the cameos. The truly astonishing, almost overwhelming number of cameos they packed in.
There's a lot.
So ultimately we want to ask, what really happens when a beloved 90s comedy icon comes back after all this time? Can it actually live up to the original's unique charm? Or does the pressure, the time gap, just create something different? Let's dive in.
All right, let's do it. So, like you said, this colossal 29-year gap since the first Happy Gilmore. And that movie, it wasn't just a hit back then. Yeah. It became this perennial favorite, right? The lines, the slapstick, it just wove itself into pop culture.
Totally quotable. Still is.
And because it was always on TV, always streaming, it just kept finding new audiences.
Yeah.
Built this massive, really dedicated fan base.
Which just cranks up the pressure, right? That enduring affection. It creates this almost impossible standard for a sequel.
For sure.
Impossible. And when you bring back a film like this, people immediately ask, who's behind it? Who wrote it? Who directed it?
Yeah, that's crucial for the fans.
And we see Adam Sandler and Tim Herlihy, the original screenwriters, they're back writing this one, which for a lot of people, that was a good sign, a promise they'd keep that authentic Happy Gilmore voice.
Right, the original DNA.
But then the director's chair goes to Kyle Newacheck. He worked with Sandler on Murder Mystery, but he's new to the Gilmore world.
So you've got this mix, right? Familiar writers, new director. That often creates a kind of interesting tension in how a film turns out.
Yeah, definitely. And you saw that tension immediately in the critical reception.
Oh, yeah. The reviews did not hold back. Phrases like moronic, witless, and relentlessly vulgar kept popping up.
Oof. Those aren't just casual digs. That suggests a fundamental problem with the comedy, the storytelling.
Exactly. But here's the weird part. In the same breath, critics were saying things like, Happy Gilmore fans will love it.
Right. It's this bizarre split. Critically panned, but maybe perfectly designed for the hardcore fans. The critics weren't even the target audience.
It's a fascinating dichotomy, almost like success is measured differently for this kind of movie.
Which leads us right into one of the absolute most talked about and honestly really controversial choices they made, right at the start of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decision so big, people are calling it unforgivable. The stunning death of Happy's wife, Virginia Venit, Julie Bowen's character.
Yeah, wow. And it happens fast, really fast. Just completely shifts the whole emotional foundation of the franchise.
It's a narrative bombshell, no question.
Yeah.
The first movie ends with them falling in love, right? That was his big win, finding happiness, not just golf.
That was the happily ever after. And the sequel confirms, they had this ideal life, 5 kids, 4 boys, 1 girl, built this whole family.
So for fans, that ending, that relationship, it was stable, it grounded all the craziness.
It was the heart, you could argue.
And the way she dies,
yeah,
it's just as jarring. Maybe more so because they try to play it for dark comedy.
Right. Happy himself accidentally kills her with an errant golf ball to the head during a tournament.
It's presented with this black humor vibe, trying to be shocking and funny at the same time.
With the fan reaction, immediate uproar, social media just exploded.
Oh, I bet.
People posting, how could you get rid of Virginia 2 minutes into the movie and suck the energy out seeing Virginia die? It just pure disbelief and anger.
It's a gut punch, right? It rips away the comfort the audience came for. It sets this really weird, unsettling tone right from the jump.
Definitely unsettling. It's a bold move, maybe even reckless, narratively speaking.
And what's really interesting is Julie Bowen herself was surprised they even asked her back.
Yeah, she said she totally expected to be replaced by someone younger. You know how Hollywood is.
Right, the decades later sequel trope.
She literally said, he's got to have a younger woman in this one. But Sandler apparently told her, stop saying that. You're the heart of the movie.
Huh. So even by killing her off, they still saw her as central.
Yeah.
It's a choice. A very dark comedic lens, maybe.
A very dark lens. And she does stick around, sort of, despite being dead.
Right, the ghost stuff. She appears in visions and, crucially, in Happy's happy place.
Yeah, that mental escape he uses. Core gag from the original.
And in these ghost appearances, she apparently jokingly forgives him for, killing her.
Which is meant, I guess, to soften the blow. Provide some kind of twisted closure.
Maybe. But critics widely said this darkly comedic death just doesn't hit the same way as, his dad's death in the original.
Right, the hockey puck thing. That was also dark comedy, but different.
How so? What's the key difference?
Well, Happy's direct responsibility here. In the original, his dad's death was external, absurd bad luck. It pushed him into golf. Oh, okay.
Here, Happy causes his wife's death. That adds this huge layer of guilt, grief, self-blame. It just taints the movie's core emotionally.
So it's not just a joke falling flat. It's like it creates actual tragedy and discomfort.
Exactly. And many felt the film just never recovers from that opening. It puts the audience in this state of unease, sadness, right when they expected lighthearted fun.
Yeah, subverting expectations can be great in drama, but in a comedy with a very specific established tone, maybe not so much.
It's risky. Very risky.
Which, okay, leads us right into where Happy is at the start of the film, after this devastation.
Yeah, he's all washed up,
Yeah.
plain and simple.
The fiery, energetic Happy from the original, gone.
Yeah.
Replaced by this guy lost in an alcoholic haze, struggling with the grief, the guilt, his life just unraveling.
It's a really somber start for a comedy. Super somber.
And the film really leans into this with that running gag about him hiding his drinking.
Oh, yeah. The disguised flasks, they get more and more elaborate. Like a TV remote, a Beatty bottle, even a cucumber.
A cucumber flask. Okay. Yeah. Critics mostly found it belabored, dragged out too long, repetitive.
I could see that.
But maybe some viewers find that whimsical silliness funny, that lowbrow, kind of Sandler-esque absurdity.
Possibly. But it feels maybe a bit jarring against his actual despair, like the tone is all over the place.
That's a good way to put it. And his money situation is just as bad. Total rock bottom.
Lost his house, completely broke, working a menial job at a supermarket.
Yeah.
Huge fall from grace.
And apparently he lost all his golf winnings because Virginia handled the finances.
Wow. So her death wasn't just emotional, it wiped him out financially too. Shows how much he relied on her.
She was his anchor, emotionally and practically. Totally gone.
So his return to golf isn't about glory this time. It's pure necessity.
Right. The catalyst is his daughter, Vienna, played by Sandler's actual daughter, Sunny Sandler. She needs tuition for this fancy ballet academy in Paris.
How much?
Get this, $70,000 a year.
Whoa. Okay. That'll force you back onto the links.
Exactly. So this huge financial pressure pushes him reluctantly back into the sport that, tragically accidentally killed his wife.
The irony is thick. It's
Yeah.
way darker than just saving Grandma's house in the original.
Much darker. But he's not completely alone, thankfully. He has this, let's call it an eccentric support system.
Okay. Like who?
Well, for starters, pro golfer John Daly is literally living in his garage.
Wait, John Daly? Living in Happy's garage.
Apparently so. Adds to that signature absurdity, right? The slightly unhinged vibe of Happy's new life.
Definitely unhinged.
Who else? And fans will like this. Ben Stiller is back as Hal, the nursing home orderly, the Alkies support group leader.
Oh, nice. A familiar face. A darkly comedic one, but familiar. Helping Happy navigate this bleak new reality.
Yeah, it's this strange mix of old faces, new desperation.
Which sets the stage for the main conflict, right? The new landscape of golf.
Exactly. The movie introduces its big bad, the Maxi Golf League.
Maxi Golf? What is that?
It's described as this bizarre new concept threatening to, upend the traditional roots of the game. Basically, Pro golf turned into a giant mini-golf competition.
Giant mini-golf. Seriously.
Blown up to ludicrous proportions. Think ridiculously unrealistic obstacles like fire and snow and zero semblance of fair play.
Wow. So loud, flashy, completely over the top.
Totally. A technicolored parade designed for a short attention span audience, the polar opposite of traditional golf.
Sounds like a traditionalist nightmare, like golf designed by a marketing committee on acid.
Pretty much. And the CEO of this monstrosity is Frank Manatee, played by Benny Safdie.
Benny Safdie from Uncut Gems. That's interesting casting.
Yeah, and here he's playing this total major douche nozzle, super arrogant, zero respect for golf's history.
And there's a running gag about him.
Oh, yeah. Horrifically bad breath,
Right.
which leads to this really bizarre, kind of baffling joke about a fart-recognized door unlock system.
A fart-recognized door.
Yep. Critics pointed to that as an example of the kind of dumb humor that just didn't land, relying on shock, not cleverness.
Yeah, that sounds something else. So the conflict is Happy versus Maxi Golf.
Pretty much. Happy, ironically, is now positioned as part of the golf establishment, defending traditional golf.
Wait, Happy, Mr. Anti-Establishment from the first movie, defending the establishment.
I know, right? Huge shift from his original character. He gets challenged to this big tournament against Maxi Golf.
And the stakes are?
The future of the sport itself hangs in the balance. Will it be traditional golf or this crazy new version?
Okay, classic setup. But the irony of Happy being the establishment defender is huge. Almost twists his whole arc.
Totally unrecognizable in that sense. And here's where it gets really interesting and probably most surprising for original fans.
Okay, I'm braced.
A very unexpected alliance between Happy and Shooter McGavin.
Oh, Shooter. Christopher McDonald, back again.
Back again, glorious as ever. And apparently, Shooter gets released from a mental institution.
Okay, that actually tracks perfectly for sure. Very fitting.
Doesn't it? So the twist, and it's a big one, is that after they have this initial confrontation, this funny scene where they duke it out in a cemetery filled with tombstones of dead characters.
Darkly amusing, okay.
Shooter becomes Happy's ally, his goal. Stop the Maxi League.
Wait, Shooter and Happy team up. They're not rivals anymore.
Nope. On the same side, united against this common, more outlandish enemy.
Wow. But isn't their rivalry like the engine of the first movie's comedy?
Exactly. That's what critics pointed out. This shift, it just changes the whole dynamic. That fun rivalry is gone.
And some said it sucks what little win there might have been in the movie's sales.
Yeah. The comedy in the original came from them clashing, those jabs, take that away, and you lose a core source of humor.
So the movie has to find new conflict engines, and maybe struggled with that.
Seems like it. It's a bold choice, definitely subverts expectations, but it sacrifices something reliable and funny for something less satisfying for many.
Yeah, you lose that friction. Which, okay, brings us to this major aspect of the sequel. It's less about story continuation.
And way more an exercise in fan service, like exhaustive fan service.
Right. The movie is just saturated with constant callbacks and nonstop nostalgia, almost to the point of parody.
It really is. Critics called it a humorless, sputtering callback machine.
Ouch.
It's relentless, referencing the original constantly, sometimes even showing quick flashback clips for tiny lines or gags.
Like the Ben Stiller check out the name tagline, you actually see the clip?
Exactly. You don't just hear it, they flash back to it, which is weird.
Why do that? Do they think we're too dumb to remember? Or that the jokes are just so good they need an instant replay?
Hard to say. But either way, it feels less like organic humor and more like just ticking off a checklist of nostalgic moments.
Yeah, it drains the spontaneity. Instead of building on the original's humor, it just echoes it, gets stale.
Right. Good nostalgia weaves the familiar into something new. This often felt like just representing it.
But okay, something that seemed to work better was the way they handled tributes to the cast members who've passed away.
Yeah, that was actually handled pretty well. Described as an ongoing memorial. And it added this unexpected stealth seriousness of older age that felt more earned than, say, the Grown Ups 2 reunion vibe.
That's interesting, like moments of genuine heart amidst the chaos.
Exactly. Take Carl Weathers' Chubbs Peterson. He was already dead in the first film story, but he still shows up in Happy's happy place.
As a ghost mentor, right?
And the sequel introduces his son, Slim Peterson, played by Lavelle Crawford. And get this, Slim also has a prosthetic hand.
No way! Like father, like son. A fitting, if dark, tribute. Leads to gags, but also that sense of legacy.
Precisely. And Bob Barker, who had that legendary fight with Happy.
Can't forget that.
He's remembered, too. Shows up in a video game form, and you see tombstones with his name in that cemetery scene.
Yeah.
Subtle, but acknowledges his iconic cameo.
Nice. What about Mr. Larson, Richard Kiel?
Also honored. His character's son is played by the massive NBA player Boban Marjanovic, and just like his dad, Boban's character intimidates people with his size. Clear, funny callback.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Who else?
Joe Flaherty, the jackass guy Happy yelled at.
Yeah.
His character's son is played, somewhat amusingly, by Eminem.
Wait, Eminem playing that guy's son?
Yep. Total out-of-left-field cameo. Genuinely surprising.
Wow, okay, that's unexpected.
And Frances Bay, Happy's grandma. Her photo is on the dashboard of Happy's car. A quiet little nod to his original motivation.
Oh, that's nice. Those feel like real heartfelt tributes. A break from the forced callbacks.
Agreed. Okay, now let's talk about the sheer volume of other cameos. It's described as voluminous. So many that, like, one critic said, you need a cheat sheet.
And most barely make an impression, just quick hits.
Yeah, single lines, reaction shots, which leads to this pro-golfer problem.
A pro-golfer problem.
Countless real pro-golfers show up, but often their line delivery is stilted. They have almost no discernible acting talent.
Ouch. Not surprising, maybe. They're athletes, not actors.
Right. Critics suggested maybe using actual actors like day players or comedians might have served the jokes better. Their timing would be sharper.
Makes sense. The delivery is key for comedy. Okay, let's try to list some of these golfers. It sounds like a huge list.
It is. Legends first. Jack Nicklaus is there. He jokes about being mistaken for Arnold Palmer, even holds the wrong drink. Fred Couples talks about loving Blueberry Jubilee.
John Daly, Living the Basement. We got that one.
Yep. Corey Pavin, Lee Trevino, back with his deadpan lines, and LPGA pioneer Nancy Lopez, all lending that golf world authenticity.
Okay, and current stars.
Oh, yeah, a ton. Scotty Scheffler, world #1, winner of the 2025 Open. Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, who gets the wrong drink from Bad Bunny.
Yeah, okay.
Then Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Keegan Bradley, Tony Finau, Brooks Koepka, Will Zalatoris, who happy mistakes for a bag carrier.
That's funny.
Bubba Watson, Ricky Fowler, Bryson DeChambeau, and representing the LPGA Olympic gold medalist Nelly Korda. It's like the entire PGA and LPGA Tour decided to show up.
It's overwhelming. Just for blink and you miss it gags, mostly.
Often, yeah. Even golf social media star Paige Spiranac is in there as a store employee.
Wild. And it wasn't just golfers, right? Other celebs, too.
Oh, yeah. Across the board. From the NFL, you've got Travis Kelce.
So Travis Kelce.
Yep. 3-time Super Bowl champ. And apparently he has pretty good comedic timing as a server. Gets slathered in honey by Bad Bunny in one scene.
Slathered in honey by Bad Bunny. Okay, this movie sounds insane.
Reggie Bush is in there, too.
Basketball.
Kelsey Plum, WNBA champ. And Boban Marjanovic, the 7'4" NBA guy playing Mr. Larson's son. He was great in John Wick 3.
Right, using his size for comedy.
And pro wrestling brings some major star power. Bad Bunny Benito Martinez Ocasio plays Happy's caddy and a server.
Bad Bunny, again, he has a significant role.
Seems like it. Critics called him utterly endearing and very funny. Said he was stealing scenes and drinks. Natural charisma, good timing. A real standout.
Okay, good for him. Who else from wrestling?
Becky Lynch. Nikki Garcia, WWE Hall of Famer, and AEW star Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, all making appearances. Just adds to the eclectic mix.
It's just wall-to-wall famous faces. Almost like the quantity is the joke.
Yeah, could be. And of course, it wouldn't be a Sandler movie without his friends and family.
Right, the Happy Madison signature.
His wife Jackie, daughters Sadie and Sonny, who plays Vienna, even Tim Herlihy's son Martin. It's a huge family affair, on top of everything else. Fans expect it, but sometimes it feels like an inside joke.
Yeah, the Sandlerverse. So all these cameos, all this nostalgia, how did it all land? What was the overall critical verdict?
Well, to put it gently, overwhelmingly negative.
That bad?
Reviews called it an absolute slog, a whiffed shot, a poor excuse for nostalgic comedy.
Oof, slog is never good.
One reviewer said they'd have more fun getting a colonoscopy with a rake.
Ooh, that is vivid and scathing. Any specific ratings?
Yeah, one major outlet gave it a 2 out of 10, which is pretty brutal for a big comedy sequel. Suggests a real consensus of disappointment.
Okay, and the comedy issues weren't just the callbacks being overdone.
No, critics said the new jokes were often just dumb and didn't make sense, like that fart-recognized door.
Right, the bad breath door unlock.
Yeah. That kind of humor felt uninspired, repetitive, like they struggled to find fresh comedy beyond old gags or crude stuff.
And what about Sandler himself?
Yeah.
How was his performance received?
There was this feeling he lazily walks through the film, One critic said he looked like someone who got divorced 4 seconds ago.
Yikes. That implies a real lack of energy or engagement, which is tough for a comedy relying on its lead.
Exactly. Makes it feel less like a passion project, more like an obligation. The overall feeling was the movie completely misses the green, just didn't capture what made the original work.
Okay, so mostly slammed by critics.
Yeah.
But were there any bright spots, anything that got praise?
Yeah, a few things managed to shine through the negativity. Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin was almost universally loved.
Shooter, okay, that makes sense.
Critics said he brought genuine lunacy back. His smug villainy, that bizarre charm. For many, his performance alone saved it from being a total write-off.
Shows some characters just endure, right?
Yeah.
Even almost 30 years later.
Definitely. And like we mentioned, Bad Bunny's performance also got high marks. Utterly endearing and very funny.
He really stood out, huh?
Yeah, natural screen presence, good delivery, a genuine bright spot among the cameos.
Anyone else get positive mentions?
Director Kyle Newacheck got a bit of credit for keeping things moving as quickly as he can, considering the huge cast and messy plot, trying to keep the pace up.
Okay, managing the chaos. Were there any new characters that landed well?
A few. There was a trio of cameoing performers with Happy during his first slapstick golf game that got some laughs, some physical comedy closer to the original.
And Happy's kids, the 4 sons.
Yeah, his quartet of unruly sons who apparently inherited his hockey hooligan roughness. They offered some glimpses of new comedic potential.
Wait, did Steve Buscemi show up doing something weird?
You know it. Apparently his character urinates into a mailbox.
Of course he does. Quintessential Happy Madison. Some fans probably loved that specific brand of weirdness.
No doubt. It's expected at this point.
So this all brings us back to the original Happy Gilmore. Why does that one still hold up so well? Why is it considered one of Sandler's better comedies?
Well, it had that simple, grounded sports comedy framework.
Yeah.
Which was just a perfect vehicle for Sandler's specific thing, you know?
Yeah, the anger, the heart underneath the physical comedy.
Exactly. And it had that clear slobs versus snobs dynamic.
Oh.
Working class Happy taking on the snobby golf elite.
That's a classic trope, and it worked so well there. Underdog story, clear stakes, relatable hero, perfect villain and shooter.
Perfectly executed, simple, effective, funny.
So this leaves us with the big question for you, the listener.
Yeah.
Does Happy Gilmore 2, with all its flaws, all the bad reviews, does it still work as comfort food comedy for the diehard fans?
Right. It's just having all that fan service, the callbacks, the cameos, the familiar faces. Is that enough? Even if it whiffs critically, even if it messes with beloved characters.
It's such a tricky balance. Pleasing the loyalists versus making a good movie on its own terms.
So yeah, wrapping up this deep dive, we've gone through Happy Gilmore 2's shocking start, its celebrity-packed fairways, and this really polarizing reception. Critics hated it. Some fans loved it.
It's this complex mix of nostalgia overload, huge fan expectations, and some really questionable choices made when reviving a character people have loved for almost 30 years.
It's definitely a potent case study in the challenges of legacy sequels, especially comedies.
And here's something to chew on. If a sequel actively messes with core parts of the original, like killing a main character and changing the whole emotional vibe, and then just stuffs the movie with callbacks and cameos, does that actually fulfill its purpose for the audience?
Good question.
What does that mean for all these legacy sequels and reboots we keep getting? Is just serving up enough familiar stuff sufficient? Or does a great sequel need to build on the original in a meaningful, emotionally consistent way, even if that risks alienating some fans by trying something new?
Yeah, what is the ultimate goal of these projects, really? It makes you wonder. Is it purely nostalgia delivery or something more?
It's a fascinating question, and like you said, we see it play out all the time now with studios relying so heavily on existing IP. What's the real measure of success? Box office? Critics? Or just making the fans happy, no matter the cost to the story?
Exactly. Lots to think about there.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the wild world of Happy Gilmore 2. We'll catch you next time.